Hello students, today we'll begin with another new chapter, that is chapter number 9, Force and Laws of Motion. Here we are having the pictures of two scientists, that is Galileo Galilei and Sir Isaac Newton. They have contributed a lot in the field of the physics. Let's begin with our chapter, Force and Laws of Motion. So, first of all, we should know what is force. Basically, a force is a push or pull on a body. Like in the above figure, we are observing, we are pushing the object, and in the second one, we are pulling the object. In both the cases, we are applying force. Here is another picture which is demonstrating the push or pull of an object. In all the cases, we are applying force on the object. Like when we play carom, we can also observe push and pull on an object. It means whenever we are playing carom, we apply force. Here is an example of pushing of an object with the help of a hammer. Now we should know what are the various effects of force. The first important effect is a body at rest can be moved via force. It means, for example, a body is at a position A. Whenever we apply a force, it changes its position from point A to point B. Second effect is a body in motion can be stopped by a force. For example, you are running at a speed. Whenever you strike with a stationary object, you can stop. This is due to the apply of the force. A body in motion can be changed in his direction of motion by a force. It means by applying the force, we can change the direction of the moving object. This can be demonstrated in case of the game of hockey. A ball comes, whenever you hit it with a hockey stick, its direction gets changed. A body can be changed in its shape or size by a force. Here is an example of a spring. If we apply force on the spring, we can change its shape. It can be compressed or it can be stretched by applying the force. So, the main effects of a force are it can move an object, it can stop an object, it can change the speed, direction and the shape. From these effects, we can conclude that a force is an influencing agency which tends to move a stationary object, or which tends to stop a moving object, or which tends to change the velocity of a moving object, or which tends to change the shape of a body. This is nothing new. These are just the effects of the force on a body. Now, forces are of two types. First type is balanced force. The definition is, if the resultant of all the forces acting on a body is zero, the forces are called balanced force. Here is an example. Look at the block on the table. It is acted by so many forces. Force F applied by the left hand is being balanced by the force F applied by the right hand. The weight W of the block is balanced by the reaction R on the block. These are the equal and the opposite forces that are acting on this block placed on the table. When a body is at rest, is acted upon by balanced forces, the body is not displaced. That is, the body remains stationary. When balanced forces acts on a body moving with constant velocity, they do not produce any acceleration on the body. Do you know what is acceleration? We have studied about acceleration in the chapter motion, and we all know that acceleration is the rate of change of velocity. For example, when raindrops fall from clouds at a greater height, the drop at first gain velocity due to the gravity of the earth. After falling through some height, a stage called equilibrium occurs when downward weight of the drop is balanced by the upward forces such as upthrust and the viscous force. The net force act on the drop will be zero, and hence no more acceleration is produced on the drop. Therefore, the raindrop moves with constant velocity, which was last gained by the drop just before reaching equilibrium condition. The most important point that should be kept in mind in case of balanced force is that a body at rest cannot be brought into motion by applying balanced forces, and a body in motion cannot be brought into rest by applying the balanced forces. Next is the unbalanced force. If the resultant of all the forces acting on a body is not zero, the forces are called unbalanced force. It means unbalanced force is the opposite of the balanced forces. So its effects will also be opposite of balanced force. Unbalanced force can move a stationary body, or they can stop a moving body. This is exactly the opposite of the balanced force. When we talk of a force acting on a body, we usually mean an unbalanced force. And when the total force on the plane is in one direction, as we are able to see in the figure, the force is called unbalanced force. An unbalanced force changes the motion of the plane. For example, when thrust is greater than drag, as you are able to see in the diagram what is drag and what is thrust, it is the unbalanced force that causes the plane to speed up or to accelerate. In addition to this, the velocity of the plane increases, the lift force increases and becomes the unbalanced force that causes the plane to move. Similarly, if you want to bring your bicycle into motion from rest, you need to apply the unbalanced force. Here is an example of a block which is placed on a table. As long as the applied force F is less than the frictional force, the block is not moved. We have studied in class 8 that friction is a force which opposes the motion. When the applied force is just equal to the friction, the body may move with uniform velocity. When the applied force is greater than the friction, the body moves with acceleration. Moves with acceleration means its velocity keeps on changing with the passage of the time. The next important topic in force and laws of motion is inertia. It is very important. It can be defined as the property of a body due to which it resists a change in its state of rest or of uniform motion. So, we can say that inertia is a very lazy thing. It resists change in rest and change in motion. It can be of three types: inertia of rest, inertia of motion, or inertia of direction. The most important thing that should be kept in mind in case of inertia is that mass is a measure of the inertia of a body. More the mass, more will be the inertia of a body. For example, a stone of size of a football has more inertia than football because the mass of a stone is much more than the mass of the football. Here is a figure which demonstrates the inertia of rest. Inertia of rest means a body in rest wants to be in rest. Here is an activity of the playing carom. If you are playing carom and you hit it with the striker, you'll observe that you'll place only that part of the carom coin which can hit by the striker, other fall down. This is due to the inertia of rest. Same you can observe if you place a cardboard on a glass and place a coin on the cardboard. If you hit the cardboard with your finger, you will observe that coin will fall down in the glass. This is due to inertia. This is all about today. In the next lecture, we'll discuss about the laws of motion. Thank you so much.